All right, we're going to address the difference between the diaphragmatic breath and the core breath. So diaphragmatic breathing is just simply the action of breathing. So that was the first thing that we talked about. Whether you're pregnant or postpartum mama, wherever you're coming in this journey, diaphragmatic breathing was one of the first things that we talked about. It's just the action of properly breathing. And so the more we practice that, the more natural it becomes, and the more our bodies just naturally breathe through our diaphragm as it's intended to be, versus breathing high into our chest and our shoulders. So again, diaphragmatic breathing is just the action of breathing using your diaphragm. The core breath is thought of as an exercise. So it's taking that diaphragmatic breath to start and really being mindful about the other muscles that are being engaged as we are doing this very specific and mindful breath. So again, the core breath is that diaphragmatic breath to start, where we breathe in, our diaphragm expands and our pelvic floor lengthens, and then on the exhale, we engage our core unit, which is why it's called the core breath. Our TVA is going to wrap in. We're going to feel that flexion for maybe around 3 to 5 seconds, and then we're going to release our belly. So the core breath, and then again, after you release your belly, you're going to, on that next exhale that feels, on that next inhale that feels appropriate, you're going to do that same pattern again. We're going to inhale, exhale, draw that blueberry up through the vagina and the anus, wrap that TVA in, feel that contraction or the flexion, and then release. So again, the core breath can be done sitting on a stability ball. It can be done kneeling, and if you're, and maybe I should mention this now, if you're doing it kneeling or sitting, you want to be sitting on your sits bones. So if someone's ever told you have a pointy butt, it's those are the bones that they're talking about. There's one on each side, and you can kind of roll back and forth and find your sits bone, sitting right on it and not tilting anteriorly or posteriorly is going to be the correct place of sitting. So, we can sit far back, we can sit in more of a tilted position this way. We do want to sit right on our sits bone, which is going to be the neutral position where we want to do the core breath, or just sitting neutral. That's how we're sitting neutral, is with the sits bones. And then taking the core breath one step further is the belly pump. So the belly pump is even more of an exaggerated exercise where we're adding core breaths kind of on top of each other for perhaps a minute duration, and we're just building on top of the activation that we create inside of our core as we're continuing to breathe. So those are going to be the 3 differences.